Because I gotta tell you the truth, folks. I gotta tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest.
Oh boy, you better come up to me with a good argument or I'm out.
Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky.
Bro is making a straw man of religion at this point.
Who watches everything you do every minute of every day.
I think I could make this funnier adding the fact that he watches you in the toilet as well, but I won't teach him how to be a comedian. Okay, I know the deal with you, bro. Right now, you hate God because you think he is the only one who knows your internet history. Also, who said he was a man? That wasn't the case, but I don't even know. Maybe Christians say that because Jesus was a man, obviously, but personally, it sounds so untrue to me.
And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you.
I might actually think that he has a point here. I also myself think that Abrahamic religions have taught about the hell and heaven in a very simplistic manner, and there is also more Gnostic practices within each religion that actually explain heaven and hell. But what I do not get is, so you are disagreeing with the concept of a hell, but this doesn't follow that there is no God. It might just follow that religions are not telling this correctly. So why is your first action to take is to reject God? It doesn't follow.
He loves you. He loves you and he needs money.
Again, this is not a criticism of God. This is a criticism of the people that are talking about God. So
thank you. But thank you. Thank you very much. But I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know.
LMAO, I just heard a single guy booing in the background.
When it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really tried. I tried to believe that there is a God, believe that, but I gotta tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is fucked up. Something is wrong here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice-capades. Something is definitely wrong. This is not good work. If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed.
I mean, yes, something is obviously fucked up. My life is fucked up as well, but you know what? It doesn't follow that there is no God. I mean, I'm not saying this, but perhaps God is evil. It's also some conclusion you might take out of this destructive earth, but you are skipping this thought process to directly conclude there is no God. Gnostics in early Christianity have noticed the same chaotic nature of the earth, and they concluded that there must be some other being that has created this earth than the all good God. But I don't know why, but the modern man is taking a totally different route. Also, as a Muslim, we believe that the world was built or created as a test. Its purpose is not to be all good. It's just a straw man claim that you come up with.
And just between you and me, in between you and me, if in any decently run universe, this guy would have been out on his all-powerful ass a long time ago. And by the way, I say this guy because I firmly believe, looking at these results, that if there is a God, it has to be a man. No woman could or would ever fuck things up like this.
Well, I appreciate that statement that God is a guy. No comment on that. But atheism to feminism pipeline is so amazing, isn't it? And vice versa.
So, if there is a God, if there is, I think most reasonable people might agree that he's at least incompetent and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results.
And it's something you think of ad hoc. What I mean is, you want God to not give a shit if even he exists, because I don't know, you just don't want your internet history to be revealed. And the truth is, God cannot be nonchalant about this earth, because there must be something that explains Fermi's paradox, why there are no aliens, why haven't we met any life form other than us when we must have done so with a billion chances, or an infinite chances to be exact.
So rather than be just another mindless religious robot, mindlessly and aimlessly and blindly believing that all of this is in the hands of some spooky, incompetent father figure who doesn't give a shit, I decided to look around for something else to worship, something I could really count on. And immediately, I thought of the sun. Happened like that. Overnight, I became a sun worshiper.
You know what? I actually like this guy, the fact that he called God a man, and now he's just talking like the biblical Abraham or the Quranic Abraham, where we know that in Islamic tradition Abraham also asked himself if the sun was the God or if the sky objects were the God, and he's actually in the beginning stages of a journey while he's at the last stages of his life. Shame.
Well, not overnight. You can't see the sun at night.
Did you get the bag, guys? Did you get the bag? That was so funny. Oh, overnight.
The first thing the next morning, I became a sun worshiper. Several reasons. First of all, I can see the sun. Okay?
Can you actually see the sun? Because I bet it's gonna burn your eyes very bad if you look at it. Like, all you see is going to be a light vector.
Yeah. Unlike some other gods I could mention, I can actually see the sun. I'm big on that. If I can see something, I don't know, kind of helps the credibility along, you know? So every day I can see the sun as it gives me everything I need: heat, light, food, flowers in the park, reflections on the lake, an occasional skin cancer, but
I like how he debunks his own ideas by that skin cancer line.
hey, at least there are no crucifixions, and we're not setting people on fire simply because they don't agree with us. Sun worship is fairly simple. There's no mystery, no miracles, no pageantry, no one asks for money, there are no songs to learn, and we don't have a special building where we all gather once a week to compare clothing. And the best thing about the sun, it never tells me I'm unworthy.
Wait. Let us fucking break this down one by one. So he says there is no songs that we are out to memorize in as sun worship. Well, Sabines in history, I'm pretty sure, have worshipped sun, and they had poetry, and they also had ethical systems for which they sometimes tell each other they're worthless for, and like, it doesn't automatically delete the ethics and the state and all the other concepts when you're worshipping a much simpler being. Where does this notion come from? I don't know.
Doesn't tell me I'm a bad person who needs to be saved, hadn't said an unkind word, treats me fine. So I worship the sun, but I don't pray to the sun. Know why? I wouldn't presume on our friendship. It's not polite. I've often thought people treat God rather rudely, don't you? Asking trillions and trillions of prayers every day, asking and pleading and begging for favors. Do this, give me that, I need a new car, I want a better job. And most of this praying takes place on Sunday, his day off. It's not nice, and it's no way to treat a friend. But people do pray, and they pray for a lot of different things. You know, your sister needs an operation on her crotch. Your brother was arrested for defecating in a mall. But most of all, you'd really like to fuck that hot little redhead down at the convenience store. You know, the one with the eye patch and the club foot.
Eye patch and the club foot. Bro, what are you on about? What kind of fantasy is that? So, no, I wouldn't ever wanna fuck that broad. And like, if you're a really religious person, why would you even pray to God about fucking people without like the church agreement or whatever the fuck, you know, in Christianity?
Huh? Can you pray for that? I think you'd have to. And I say, fine, pray for anything you want. Pray for anything. But what about the divine plan? Remember that? The divine plan. Long time ago, God made a divine plan. Gave it a lot of thought, decided it was a good plan, put it into practice. And for billions and billions of years, the divine plan has been doing just fine. Now you come along and pray for something. Well, suppose the thing you want isn't in God's divine plan. What do you want him to do? Change his plan? Just for you?
Yep. This is exactly why all the prayers are not accepted. This is actually what Kabbalah is kind of talking about. Like, you have to be aligned with God in order for your wishes to manifest. So it's not an original idea again.
What do you want him to do? Change his plan? Just for you? Doesn't it seem a little arrogant? It's a divine plan. What's the use of being God if every rundown schmuck with a $2 prayer book can come along and fuck up your plan? But, as I said, I don't pray to the sun. You know who I pray to? Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know who Joe Pesci is. I might be too young to know him, or I'm kinda out of touch.
Two reasons. First of all, I think he's a good actor, okay? To me, that counts. Second, he looks like a guy who can get things done. Joe Pesci doesn't fuck around.
Okay, yeah, I googled him and it turns out, yeah, I'm too young and he's a boomer, yeah. Well, you know, some things he says are just funny because they're so stupid. You know, that feeling when it tingles you that is so dumb. If Joe Pesci lived today, I bet he would be looks maxing, jester maxing, and doing every kind of maxing he could do to survive the dating market, at least, you know. You know what? It's actually a blessing for some of these boomers to not have been born as Gen Z.
And for those of you who look to the Bible for moral lessons and literary qualities, I might suggest a couple of other stories for you. You might want to look at The Three Little Pigs. That's a good one. Has a nice, happy ending. I'm sure you'll like that. Then there's Little Red Riding Hood, although it does have that X-rated part where the big bad wolf actually eats the grandmother.
You know, it's so dumb because you're comparing the biblical stories with, like, fables, Humpty Dumpty, and Clovers, but we all know that you will go back home, open up Star Trek, the Gen Z Star Wars equivalent bullshit, and you will act like Jar Jar is actually a possibility in real life, and you will call fucking biblical stories as some dumb shit.
Dumpty back together again. That's because there is no Humpty Dumpty and there is no God. None, not one, no God, never was. In fact, I'm gonna put it this way. If there is a God, may he strike this audience dead.
Spoiler alert, one day later, they all were found out dead. Now, not really, but what you said about prayer becoming accepted is true. If it's not aligning with the will of God, why would he kill a room full of, or a stadium full of people? That's just dumb again.
See, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everybody's okay. All right? Tell you what. I'll raise the stakes. I'll raise the stakes a little bit. If there is a God, may he strike me dead. See? Nothing happened. Oh, wait, got a little cramp in my leg. And my balls hurt.
Well, I like the fact that he understood some of the things about religion or some of the simplicities about religion, but he outright passed on to the conclusion without actually thinking about it. What can you do? He's a boomer, bruh. Well, like, he's a boomer. I don't expect nothing from boomers. But yeah, I thought this guy was somewhat cool when I first seen him as a kid. And yeah, I wish he had more time on Earth to brood more, but some people do not do nothing with the time they have, you know. Okay, it's Saint Bora. Peace out.